Hey everyone, this is Dynamite here, also known as SummitJOR, and I am here casting a 1 versus 1 that I was doing against somebody by the name of E.G. Odious, and whoops, just making sure I had the sound on, and this was a ladder game, and this is basically going to be my main introduction video to my channel. Basically, I am going to be putting up StarCraft 2, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Minecraft, just a mixture of things. There's really no definite thing that I'm going to be putting up. But, pretty much, I would just like to say for that last video, I was just too lazy to I just pretty much almost always keep my computer recording. Just because I find it a lot easier, and also if there's some bug or one-time thing that I find, which I found several of those, but I didn't have my computer recording then I'd have that recording, and I'd have that. But I was just too lazy just to go back over and do a commentary myself, so I just put that up, and it was just a game showing how we would play out 3v3s. I will do a different game telling how we would play it out. But right here, I am playing as Terran, which if you did not see from the first video, if you didn't see the first video, and I am on Shattered Temple, I believe the name. Yes, Shattered Temple. Name of this map. And right now I am going for currently gasless, which normally that's going to scream Fast Expo to a Protoss, or well, to a Protoss Fast Expo, to a Zerg either Fast Expo Marine Rush. But right now, I'm just keeping this SCV right on here. Just make sure that he can't harass this SCV building it. I put this down just to be sure that Probe will die. He cannot get out. But he is seeing that I still do not have either gas or another barracks on the way. So he should pretty much have a good idea of what I'm doing. While I'm right here, I guess I forgot to move this SCV. Remember, I'm not some super go-to player. I'm only a gold leaguer trying to move up to platinum. And right here, let's take a look at his base. He is currently boosting out probes, getting out his cybernetic score with only currently 1 gas. So fairly standard build out of him. Okay, getting an early second gas. Which from what I've seen recently, I've seen a lot of players go for 1 base robos into Fast Expo, which is an easy way to counter the 2-axe that has been becoming more and more popular recently. But basically, I think this probe is just coming over here just to control the Zelnaga tower, see if anything's coming. Yeah, pretty much. And right now, if you look back here, I am spreading out my Marines just a little bit. Just making some Marines. Should be probably throwing down barracks pretty soon, or maybe my gases. I think I threw down my barracks first. But right now, let me open up the production tab. I forgot to do that at the beginning of the game. But right now, I do get this SCV scout in. I think this is the second time that I get him in. It might just be the first, though. But I do see double gas, I believe. Let me check. Yes, I do see the double gas. So, I pretty much know that it's either going to be DTs, air, or robo. Or blink stalkers. It could be charge slots, but I normally don't see that that often. Going as Terran. Yeah, okay, see, I do have delayed throwing down barracks, and there's my double gas. But remember, I'm not some super go-to player. I am getting my Marines ready, just because it is fairly standard for a Protoss player to move forward with his first initial stalker, and sometimes a zealot. I don't see it all that often. But right here, I'm pulling my weakened Marines to the back, trying not to let him get an early kill. But right here, I am just trying to force him away. My barracks is, not my barracks, my bunker is just about completed. And when that completes, I will just be fine. The stalker's taking a little bit of hull damage. My Marines did take some hull damage, but none of them got killed, luckily. So, the units lost tab should be identical. Sorry, I do not know. Okay, L. Yeah, it's identical. 1-1, 1 scouter, 1 scouting, 1 scouting, each. Which right now, as you can see, I am throwing down a tech lab to get those fast upgrades. Need to get these SCVs back mining. But he is now throwing down his expansion, just starting when I'm already have mine up and running, starting to get it fairly saturated. Which, a lot of players, what they'll do is they'll transfer their SCVs over. I don't really like that. I like to just start to, like, once my main is almost fully saturated, is normally when I will move my rally point down here. But right now I'm just trying to constrain this area. I don't really need another supply depot right now, but I do need to start building one with this SCV. That is one problem of mine. I will leave a lot of idle SCVs, which right now I am going for concussive shells, which against Protoss I would suggest going for Marauders. Marauders against Protoss, the only time I can really find them to be not that effective is against air. Against Immortals, some people would say that they're good, some people would say that they're bad. I've heard a lot of debates about it. I personally like them just because they tank the Immortal shots. And personally, I think that they do counter them, armored. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. But right now, he is flying an Observer over here into my base, which is where I make a sort of misclick, I guess you would say. Where I do see the Observer. I'm not sure exactly when. I think it's in about a minute. I do see the Observer. But it cost me 2 scans to kill it because of a misclick. Remember, I'm not some super go-to player. Right here, I didn't at first have enough time to get the armor. So I forgot about it, but I do eventually get it. So right now, he is just seeing everything. I am throwing down a 3rd command center fairly early. Right as I'm starting to get my mineral lines fairly saturated at my natural. Which he does see this. He is going for a Warp Prism, which Warp Prisms against Terran, I'd say that it's more effective as than against Protoss. But I really, as a Protoss player, as a previous Protoss player, excuse me, I don't really like the Warp Prism play. There's different ways to put on harassment, such as you can run a few charge lots in and just, if I have the gold, just take that. The Warp Prism, I just don't like it. I just don't know why. It is just, I believe, 100 minerals, though. 200, my bad. But it's really not that expensive. I don't really know why I don't like it. It just feels weird for me, just having that. But he does go for a double immortal drop. Kills off practically every worker that I have up here. But he does lose the Warp Prism and the immortal, which will be coming up as soon as they come out. Right now, he is deciding to take his own gold, while I am deciding to take my back 3rd. His is more of a risk, but mine will be getting up earlier than his. And really, it doesn't really make that big of a difference right now between us, because I will be getting an early 3rd, and I do believe that he gets an early back expansion. So it was pretty much even out in the income. Right here is the Observer. You can see a slight blur if I show you right here. There is a slight blur right there that you can see the Observer right there. And see, I saw it right there, and I need to change it to everyone. And I messed up on that. Should have been stutter stepping backwards a little bit, but I did mess up on it a little bit, and I did forget to get my upgrades. This was the part, I believe, where I remembered that right there. And that is something that something that's just a big problem with me is forgetfulness. If someone knows any maybe tricks or anything to help you remember something, that'd be really helpful. But right here. Well, right here, I guess this sort of does, well, he still hasn't gotten his gold, so I guess it sort of evens out, because I forget about the 3rd base for a while. But, right here, I am throwing down a reactor on this factory, just so that I can get, medevacs out, excuse me. And I am getting a reactor on this barracks. But right here, I do have a, wall in. Fairly large with supply depots and this building just to fill in the slot, because I didn't feel like putting in a 2nd bunker, because in case you don't know, each one of these is 3 spots wide, and it's also production, so I just have that as backup. And basically, okay, I'm talking about this as I'm assuming that you know what StarCraft is. If you do not, I will probably make a video telling you the basics of StarCraft and all the races, but pretty much sorry if you don't really understand this. Just bear with me, put it in the comments below that you are new to StarCraft, and I will go over a video with it. But right here, I should be getting upgrades. I don't even believe that he even has a forge yet to get his upgrades. No, he does not. He is still at 0-0. Upgrades in StarCraft 2 is something that I would highly suggest getting. Here's the double immortal drop. I I find this to be sort of like a Colossus drop. Normally not cost effective because, as you can see, he does kill off a lot of my eco up here, but up here it's practically mined out. Like, all of these have about 500 in them. See? So he does kill off a lot of workers, but pretty much this immortal drop, if you lose one of these immortals, I really say that it's not worth it. If you lose 2 of them, it's definitely not worth it. But right here, if you're wondering, if you're a lower league player and wondering what I'm doing, I would say just player, but most, at least I'd say at least gold league players or platinum would know that I'm just making sure that if these rocks get broken down, that I will see it. And right here, I do have a decent bio ball. I did not decide to get Ghost, mostly because I didn't know he was going mass immortal. When I see this immortal drop, I'm expecting him to be transitioning out of it into Colossus, which is very common. You normally don't see on immortals for that long. You want to start getting out the Colossus, get out that AoE damage that they do, and just start going to town on this bio ball. Right here, I do barely snipe that Warp Prism, just barely. And personally, I find that to be a giant blow. As you can see, he did kill a lot of my workers. But it's not too big of a deal considering that it was almost mined out. Really, only this gas was the only thing that I really needed badly. And I don't even need it that badly. As you can see, I'm not the best macroer, but, oh well. He does have another observer right here, which I do not see. That is a fairly well hidden spot. You can't really see that easily unless you run a unit under it to get vision of it. But right now, I did decide to salvage that bunker. I thought that I would keep that, but maybe since I'm getting up to 3rd base, I wouldn't. But right now, I would say that the economic advantage definitely goes to him. Considering that I just now started my next command center for my gold, and he already has his Nexus finished. But I do believe that I do catch up with him by double expanding to here and to here. And right now, what I decided to do with this bio ball is, I do think I just decided to run around, try to be a little bit more aggressive than I've been being. Yeah, I think I do decide to drop the main a little bit. Right now, he is checking my Marines. I guess he's checking for my upgrades. Which okay, there, he has a triple forge somewhere, as I can see in the production tab. Okay, he is getting his Robo Bay, 17-minute Robo Bay. But there are the 3 forges. Just now starting his +1 on everything. Which I would highly suggest getting earlier. Maybe a little bit earlier than I did, if you can. Right here, I do a giant drop in the main. Where this, it's basically like the immortal drop. If you lose this, it's not gonna be pretty for you. You're gonna be so far behind. But right here, this is practically an attack, I would say, just considering that so many units, but it's inside their main base. I do pick off a single pylon right there. And step forward, and I do focus down the robo. If you're gonna do a giant drop like this, you don't want to be focusing down pylons. You want to be focusing down big tech structures. Which right now, I do decide to engage this, but I didn't see how many units that he had. He starts to use force fields to cut it off, which I do believe hurts him more in the long run. Just because, as you can see right here, I do decide to leave some units behind so I can get away. But it prevents him from chasing after me. Which he probably could have gotten at least a few shots off the medevac if not killed it. If he had blink, which he has not even started researching yet, he could have blinked down and killed it. But there he is throwing down 2 more robos, and he is researching extended thermal lance, which is range for the Colossus. And he's starting to go more into Zealot heavy. After that drop, he probably realizes that I am going mass bio ball, getting a lot of Marauders. But yeah, normally against a giant bio ball army, you want to go Zealots, for sure. And I would even say, definitely against siege tanks, but I would even say cut out the High Templars. Well, don't cut them out, but cut out the Psystorm and move to Archons. Because Archons, they do have less splash damage, but it leaves your Zealots to tank, while those, Archons, couldn't remember the names of them for a second, can just sit back and deal the damage. And they aren't reliant on energy, and if you are going to get that Psystorm upgrade, I would not suggest getting it early. I would probably wait till later on in the game, unless they seem to be going for a lot of Marines. But if you do see ghosts out on the field, I would not suggest even getting High Templar or Archons. I would suggest sticking with the regular Zealot, Stalker, Colossus mix. Maybe mix in a few Immortals and Sentries, but if those EMPs hit them, those guys are practically useless. Which, for those who don't know, the new people to StarCraft or people that just plain don't know, Immortals do have a special ability, making their shields stronger. I do believe that they can only take up to 20 damage on their shields. And the Sentries have energy for Force Fields and Guardian Shield and Hallucinate, which you don't see Hallucinate that much because you have to research it. It is 100-100 and it takes a fair amount of time. But right here, as you can see up here, I do decide to get my Ghost Academy, which I start transitioning into not mass ghosts, but a fair amount of ghosts. And here I am pushing into his technically 4th base. I'm trying to force him up on the ramp, so I sort of push down to bait him up a little bit. And then when he comes up on top of the ramp, his units are constricted, and he can't do too much right there. Right there, he does get a fairly nice force field off, but it practically just cut my army in half. He needed to cut it maybe more down this side, about here, rather than cutting it back there, which this just destroyed his army. And as you can see, back at home, I do have this base, but I have forgotten about that one also. I do have this one up as a planetary, and I am starting to saturate my gold. But right here, he does lose his technically 4th base. This is where your 3rd base normally would be. But that is a large blow to him. He is now getting his 3-3 while I'm getting his 3-3-3 while I'm getting my 3-3 and Mobius Reactor, which is the upgrade for ghosts, increasing their starting energy. Which, as you can see right here, he is now getting High Templar. Which High Templar, as you can see, 75 energy for Storm, and I do believe that they only start with 50. So it's not really that strong. If you're going to get High Templar, use them for Archons or feedback on the Medevacs or Ghosts. Which, as you can see up here, he does feedback almost every Medevac. He misses 2. And I use that for healing, but he does clean up this army. But definitely not worth it. And right here, I am taking out his upgrades. So he's not getting that 3-3. He is only sticking with his 2-2 now. While my 3-3 is just now finishing up. So as you can see, I do have 4 ghosts on the way out of these barracks. And I'm starting to get up my bio ball again, or at least trying to. And he does decide to push out. I do believe that he only tries to control the middle of the map. Okay, no, he just decides to pull right back. I tried here. I do finally remember about this, and I call down a lot of mules and get a command center. Orbital, excuse me. And right now, he is practically on about 2 bases. Maybe 2.5. And just now getting this base back up. But he needs to take this. Okay, he's going to take this base now. Which, I'd say fairly soon he would need to take this one if he wants to stay in this game. Because if you look up here, his supply, it has dropped drastically. And he does have a lot of money. But he does need to be macroing more. Which, how many gateways is he running off of? Okay, there are 5. And, okay, 9 gateways right here. He's putting out 2 more, so 11. But 11 gateways this late in the game, I'd say that you would need more. Considering, okay, he does have 2 robos. Okay, there's the second one. I'm just blind. But 2 robos producing Colossus each, so that is fairly good. But as you can see right here, I am already starting to get up a decent-sized Fireball again. I do have the Ghost mixed in with EMP, so I can EMP off the shields on the Archons. Which, once you take off their shields, they really are not that big of a problem. Because only 10 health, range of 3, and they do 43 to biological. So, I do believe that that can almost one-shot a Marine. Yes, almost, especially if it does not have combat shields, which adds plus 10 life to a Marine. But these High Templar, right here, I do scan, I see that they are all clumped up. So that's why I push my ghosts forward. If I saw that they were more spread out, I would engage and then EMP. And, excuse me, sorry, I forgot to put myself on busy. Sorry about that. Right here, these High Templar only have energy for feedback, to feedback medevac. And pretty much right here, he does warp in a lot of Zealots, which against a Bioball, Zealots are very good. Zealots are just good against Terran in general, as I've said before. But as you can see right here, these Marauders do go to town on them. I do macro back at home as much as I can. I'm not that well of a macroer. As you can see up here, 7,000, 5,000. But I am at 200 supply. He's morphing in a lot of High Templar up here with 2 Colossus. So this could be a fairly well hold for him if he can get in the right position. So he is chrono boosting this out. I scan and I do see that he has all of them clumped up. Come forward and EMP everything. Nothing has energy left. He just gets in a lot of Archons, but he can't do anything with them right now. Archons are good against a Bioball, but they are not good if they are right on top of them like this with this many units. And he does call GG. I call GG back, and he leaves the game. So as I said before, I will be trying to put up more games of whether it's me or friends or any games that you send in. I will give you the specifications later or in the description below. But thanks everyone for watching. It's been Dynamite, and I'll see you guys next time.